Right, so if you have a mirror like this in your Passat B7 or even in Golf Mark 5, so basically this was made in Golf Mark 5, yeah, but in Passat they made with two brackets. There's a bracket like this and one that's shorter, so it depends on the bracket that you have. This is the Golf Mark 5 bracket kind of, or Passat B7. The Passat B6 had a different bracket. So B7, which is this, if you have a bracket like the cover for it, if it's like this, it's the longer version of the mirror. On the other, the shorter one on the Passat, it comes in a different shape, looks like an oval, something like that. And as you can see, this one has a 1 KO part number, which was used since the Golf Mark 5, and they used it on a Passat B7. On the B6, unless if it was a newer model, then they used it. This bracket is on the CCs or Golf Mark 7, they used it, or in Passat B8. If you have bracket like this, some of the Passats CC after 2012, they have this kind of bracket, and before they will have this one, which is like Golf Mark 5, Golf Mark 6, they had this bracket. Anyway, the point is, when you get a mirror, the frameless one, which looks exactly like this is taken apart so I can do a video, but this is the frameless one. The part number for it, bear with me 1 second, you can have the part number here, you can just pause the video. So 3GO857511AD, yeah, this is the part number for it, and this is already put in the bracket for Passat B7 or Golf Mark 5. Before, he had a different bracket, which will look exactly like this, as you can see. So this is thicker, the rod is thicker, this one is smaller. And then there's some adaptations you have to do to get it in there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, but only the bottom ones they're gonna hold. So that means you're gonna have to file a little bit on the side, file on the side and here, or use a Dremel, whatever you have on hand. And then you're gonna make sure this one gets in a bit more. As you can see, the bottom, the line, the holes are nearly aligned, but you just have to Dremel a little bit just to get it in, that bit in there. As you can see, it has to go in that little hole, and once it gets in, it's done. Then in here you might have to cut this away to be able to go a bit further, and then in here the edge, and then you put the screw to hold it. I used some glue as well on top of that. Alright, then the wires, the connector is different, yeah, as you can see. Let me just try to too much light, I'll make it a bit darker. Right, so you have one green wire, one brown, one black and one white. As you look at the mirror, so this is the lower part, this is the top part, yeah. I'm just gonna hold it like this so you can understand. Yeah, that's the top bracket. When you take this one off, the original one will go like this. So if I put them aside, you understand, you just move the first, you literally put white with white, black with black, and so on. There will be two wires that are not going to be used. There are models that they have all the wires in there. This one for some reason doesn't, but it still worked, because this is not the first one I'm making. So this is the normal plug that should be going there, but you don't have to do, you just cut a little bit this one to be able to fit, and it goes in there perfectly. It won't come out, unless if you want to solder, you can do that, but what is the point? Just put this one there and that's it. It works. And once you get everything together, you close it back in, and that's the mirror done basically, and it will look like this. Now it's obviously taken apart because I still have to do the cutting to be able to fit it properly. With this one, you don't really care when you take it off. You basically pry it on the edges and you see how it looks like. It has some bits where it holds. Right. This will go to the bin obviously because there's no use for it anymore. So if you see, this one holds into those clips on the edges. So if you just pry it, it'll come off. Now, the bracket from this mirror will have to be moved in there. So this metal rod with the thing that holds it, and then in here you're gonna notice there's gonna be a hole, and I bought this little like 1 centimeter foam like that, round one, and you just put it around there and it will look nice, and obviously no dirt will go in, so such things. And after that, when you put it on the car, you just have these covers that they will go on. They go in like that, obviously on the bracket, yeah, like that, and that's it. And the mirror, it will look like the ones that you guys probably seen on the car on the forum. So it's not such a big deal, it's just time consuming, but mostly the hardest part will be to take this bit out of this, because usually it will go like that, right? It goes like that, and it goes in this joint, and you have to push it in hard to push it back in. I used gloves with all the process when I did this, a bit stronger ones, because obviously you're using sharp stuff, and sometimes you might, like, it might slip and it goes into your hand, and you don't want that. The hardest part was to push this one back in. So what I did, obviously this bit was removed, it was not connected. I put it on the floor like that, under it. Yeah, so basically what I did, I put under the mirror, I just put something like a cloth, I put it under, and with the gloves and some more other stuff, I push this one in so it can click back into the ball joint in there. Because I tried to take this one off, but if you take it off, it's going to be very hard to put back in. If you have the right tools, maybe, yeah, but obviously not everyone will have. It's like a different pliers that you pull like that. It's a strange one if you had one, but I didn't, and I just made it work like that. So just keep in mind that's going to be the hard job. This one you can literally pull with 2 hands and pull it out. Just remember the pins where they go. I usually take pictures before on the mirror when I took it apart. When you just open it like this, take a picture, you know where they go, then you're good to go later on. Yeah, hope it helps.